I'm sure a lot of us came to the same question after watching the tragic murder of Renee Good. When we watched the ICE agent who was already away from the hood of her car decide to shoot her not once, but 3 times, we came to that same question. Why do we live under a system where an organization of psychopaths can decide to kill us just because we twitch in the wrong direction? And how do we actually stand up to them? Well, ICE's main task is to be a Gestapo against immigrants, but it's also just an extension of the broader apparatus of state repression the bourgeoisie uses. Right now, ICE is actually on the cutting edge of the capitalists' efforts to build a, frankly, dystopian police state. And they're preparing to build even more as this protest movement grows around us. But how do we advance beyond the ebb and flow of protest movements that we've all seen for the past 2 decades and build to a socialist revolution? Since Occupy Wall Street, we've seen the same pattern play out. There's a huge upsurge, creative tactics, and lots of heroism, but then a fizzling out of the mass movement and little to no changes to the society. So we gotta ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? As communists, we believe that if you want to change the world, you gotta understand it first. So we need to learn and spread Marxism so that we can teach people, especially the working class, that we don't need to keep living under the iron heel of capitalism. Only a real independent movement of the working class is going to be able to carry forward the most militant demands that oppose the ruling class's interests. If we want to advance towards revolution, we need the mass participation of the working class, but not just by joining protests, but by striking. Imagine if every garbage truck driver in New York City refused to work the routes until ICE was kicked out. And that's only one industry. But if we want to make that a reality, we gotta spread revolutionary and communist ideology across the whole working class, which Marx, Engels, and Lenin all did in their time. And so today, the choice is on us to continue that struggle and inspire the working class to be masters of society. In What Is to Be Done, Lenin says, "Working class consciousness cannot be genuine political consciousness unless the workers are trained to respond to all cases of tyranny, oppression, violence, and abuse, no matter what class is affected. Unless they are trained, moreover, to respond from a communist point of view and no other. The consciousness of the working masses cannot be genuine class consciousness unless the workers learn from concrete and, above all, from topical political facts and events to observe every other social class in all the manifestations of its intellectual, ethical, and political life. Unless they learn to apply in practice the materialist analysis and the materialist estimate of all aspects of the life and activity of all classes, strata, and groups of the population. Once the working class achieves class consciousness, they'll be able to respond militantly to every outrage that the capitalist class commits and lead a revolution. Then we'll see the workers seize hold of the rusty and brittle chains of capitalism and reduce them to dust. Only then can we make revolution and establish socialism in the United States."